Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Offhand. My name is Andy. His name is Steven. And that person over there in the Patriots hat is Chaya. Chaya, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here to
Glad to be
talk
here.
about the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. You
Oh,
excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. What about you, Steven?
I'm doing swell. Thanks for asking, because you
Steven,
didn't ask me.
you had
I don't
some
appreciate.
disapproval there with Chaya's hat.
I don't like it. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Patriots. I don't even like Tom Brady football wise, but you know what?
Well, at least they're not in the Super Bowl this year. At least, Tom Brady is, but at
Tom
least the
Brady's in the Super
Patriots
Bowl.
aren't in the Super Bowl this year.
Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl. He's
A
caused me a
little,
lot of pain.
little bit of a change of pace. Not for Tom Brady or Gronk, but for the Patriots, for the league, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
so let's just hop right into this, guys. Talk about the Super Bowl. So this whole video is going to be about talking about both teams, specifically the quarterbacks. So I'm curious to hear which quarterbacks you guys have. We'll start with our guest, Chaya. Who do you have? Which quarterback?
Uh, I'd rather have Tom Brady just because of the experience that he's had in Super Bowls, the experience just in general of being a 43-year-old man in the Super Bowl at this point. My goodness.
Yeah, no one's really got experience like that in the
Yeah, no
NFL.
one.
Tom
No one.
Brady is a 1-for-1 in how much experience he has. He has enough experience for like 2, 3, 4 people
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
Steven, who do you have?
I'm
Which
gonna go
quarterback?
the same route. I'm gonna go Tom Brady, the GOAT.
You're
Can't
just
vote
taking him
against.
just cause?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cause he's the GOAT,
Bandwagoner?
comeback
I see you.
king.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not.
It's
I'm not
fine.
at all. I'm a
Okay.
Dolphin
It's the
fan.
trauma is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's the
It's the trauma.
trauma.
It's the trauma.
You don't want to bet against the guy that's hurt your heart so many times.
I know better than to bet against Tom Brady. I
All
know
right.
better.
Well,
That's the situation.
I'm the one that obviously does not know better because I'm going for Patrick Mahomes. I would take Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I think what he's been able to do this season as well as these playoffs is ridiculous and unbelievable. He's actually playing better, you could argue, than last season. And we'll probably get more in depth on it later. I'll bring up some stats on it. But one stat that I really want to share on kind of why I'm going against Brady, and then you guys can kind of hop in on it, is completion percentages. It's a stat that's not that big or that flashy, but I think it kind of tells a lot about an offense as well as a player because this past postseason, Tom Brady going against Washington through 55% completion percentage, against New Orleans, 54, 55%, Green Bay, 55%, all pretty decent defenses outside of Green Bay, just kind of mediocre. But Tom Brady's not playing that great this postseason. Pretty low completion percentage. Actually, would put him on par with Drew Lock and Carson Wentz, who threw 57% this season. So unless you think they threw the ball pretty well, you probably wouldn't think Tom Brady is. And Tom Brady's actually never won a Super Bowl throwing under 60% in the playoffs. He's actually only won one, and it was at 59.5. So if you're rounding up, technically he hasn't won one under 60%. He's won two at 60%, 2003 and 01. But that's about it. So I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I think the reason why that is would have to be because of the Bruce Arians offense. It's all like even when it was Jameis Winston last year, he threw what 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah,
They
30 for
just
30.
aired the ball out. Yeah. So I think it's something Tom Brady's not accustomed to, considering that he came from the Patriots, being a more conservative offense. I would say the Bruce Arians offense is a way more pass heavy offense than it is ever having any rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put it there that would be why the completion percentage is down, because they're still scoring touchdowns and getting the yards out, even though the completion percentage is down. The yardage is still there and the scoring is still there.
And Steven, what do you think about it?
I totally agree with Chive on that. Tom
Yeah.
Brady in New England, all he did was dump off passes and such. And in Bruce Arians' offense, he's throwing the ball probably further than he's always thrown it in his career. So
Yeah, there's a lot of times, at least I remember in the Green Bay game, where you saw Tom Brady probably looking a lot of times for like 20-yard plus passes, especially with that Scotty Miller pass going into the half where he just chucked it up. It was maybe like a 40-yard pass, something like that, with a few seconds left. Usually I think Brady would probably have just taken something close by, if he had it and then just try to get the field goal and just move on to the half. But he just went for it. So that's kind of a change of mind. But with how you're saying, Chai, with the whole system, I think it is kind of a system thing. I think you're right. It's with Bruce Arians. They're probably looking to throw the ball deep more, and that's just something Tom Brady's not used to because, as Steven alluded to, he looks more for the check down. That's probably why Godwin had a little bit of not necessarily a better season, but why some people might actually be a little bit down on Mike Evans, and a little bit higher on Godwin. I know you have some thoughts on that, Chaya.
Yeah, my goodness. To me, I think Mike Evans much better receiver than Chris Godwin. But like this season and the past season, even though Tom Brady wasn't there last season, a lot of people were hyping up Chris Godwin a lot, that he's like a number one, number two, and seems to be more number one. Even this season, I was hearing that a lot. And to me, I just think Mike Evans is just the more talented receiver than Chris Godwin is. So yeah, I think it's because he's gotten more attention this year because of Tom Brady being that guy. That's why. But yeah,
I think it's interesting that Gronk has hardly gotten like any attention. I haven't watched too many Buccaneers games. I'll be honest. I don't really know how he's been kind of used in that offense. Steven, do you know how he's kind of been used in that offense?
Gronk's more used for blocking in this offense.
That's what I thought.
So
That's what I thought. He seems to be more just focused on that, not
yeah,
really going out.
that's because of New England though. The thing that Belichick would always say about Gronk is that he was actually a good blocker, which is something that a lot, like some people sometimes talk about, that he's actually a really good pass blocker when he needs to be. It's crazy to hear.
And that makes sense because the amount of weapons they have on that team. God, they got Mike Evans, they got Godwin, they have Antonio Brown, they have Leonard Fournette, they have their other running back who's Ronald Jones, I believe is his actual name, Ronald Jones. I always mess up his first name for some reason in my head. And then they have Gronk there as well. So someone has to sacrifice some minutes, and I'm sure Gronk, who just came out of retirement, the guy's like, sure, I'll just go block. I'll do my job. I did it on the Patriots. I'll do it here. I'll hop on Tom Brady's back. He'll lead me to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure. I'm fine with it. Shoot, I'll go out there and block.
Yeah, their pass catching guy is more Cameron Brate than anybody else. But actually, later in the season, Gronk's been used more for pass catching too. It's really weird.
Seems like it. I think he only had like one catch, I think, in the Green Bay game, but it was like for 30 yards, something like that. So Tom Brady does look for him, but it seems like he just has so many other options that he'd rather he's just looking for everybody else. The thing though with Brady, right? My other thought with Brady, outside of himself, is I don't think that he can actually win the Buccaneers Super Bowl. I think if the Bucs do win the Super Bowl, which again I wouldn't be surprised if they did, very capable team. I think they win because of their defense. I think their defense is carrying him just like how the defenses in New England did. Not all the time, obviously, but in this specific season, it's kind of reminiscent of the final years of Peyton Manning with that Broncos defense that just carried him, given completely different defense. That defense was like historically good.
Oh, yeah.
But this Buccaneers defense is definitely holding their own, especially in the fourth quarters, locking down quarterbacks, except for, I think, Aaron Rodgers, like the only person they didn't do well against, because Drew Brees they killed, and then Taylor Heineke, you can't really talk too much about him. He's not a very good example. I love the guy. The offhand is here with Taylor Heineke. We love that man.
True.
We love that man.
I was rooting for him.
We were all rooting very hard for him. He put up a great fight, but the reality is he's not really in comparison to Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. So that Buccaneers defense, I think, is just going to have to win them the game and somehow holds back Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. What do you guys think about the Bucs defense?
I think the biggest thing that's going to happen, or that needs to happen for the Bucs defense, is that they need to shut Travis Kelce down. I think Travis Kelce is more important than Tyreek Hill. I think what was it, 2 years ago when the Patriots played in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs? I think the Chiefs realized in that game that Travis Kelce matters more than Tyreek Hill. I think they can air it out to Tyreek Hill and he can do a play, but Travis Kelce is the guy that they need.
Yeah, I agree with Jayab on that. Travis Kelce to Patrick Mahomes is his best friend. So if Tyreek Hill's not wide open, it's definitely either going 10 yards to Travis Kelce or on a dump off to Travis Kelce. So
yeah, I agree. So let's kind of flip our attention to that team then, to the Chiefs and Travis Kelce, because these two teams actually did meet up in Week 12 this season, and it was at Tampa, funny enough. And Mahomes had a great game. Brady had a great game, minus the 2 picks he threw. Outside of that, though, he was pretty on par. Gronk and Godwin had nearly 100 yards each, so that's one of those games where Gronk was actually like targeted a little bit and made a big difference on the receiving end. But the real crazy stat, and I don't know if either of you two remember it, Tyreek Hill had 269 receiving yards.
First quarter.
I don't
the
even
first quarter.
know
I think it was the
It
first
might have
quarter.
been like majority of that. I think was in the first quarter.
No,
I'm
pretty sure almost all of it, maybe 12 yards.
wait, so this wasn't just one game?
This was one game.
No, it was one game.
It was in one game.
So it was in 12. One game, yes, but at the end of this was one quarter you're talking about.
Well, that Tyreek Hill did his stuff, yeah. Tyreek Hill did it like basically all in one quarter.
What were his do you know his final stats for that game?
That was his final stat for receiving yards, 269.
Yep.
It was 269 for the game.
And 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
And 3 touchdowns. It was wild. The Chiefs won, but only 27-24.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I mean.
It's kind of like Chaco, you were saying it's like, oh, they can hold back Travis Kelce. I should have looked at the stats of how Travis Kelce did that game. But Tyreek Hill went off, but like you said, he was only off for maybe a half or so. And then he turned off in the second half where he just didn't really do much. So they are capable of holding back their offense, it seems like. They kept it close, 27-24. They held the Chiefs to 27 points, which is pretty impressive, I would say. But at the same time, the Chiefs held back the Buccaneers to 24 points. And in these last 3 games in the postseason against Green Bay, New Orleans, and Washington, Tom Brady and the offense had about 30 points in each of those games. What do you guys think about all of that? What are you guys just thoughts on that game?
So I'm looking at that game. The running game was pretty stopped compared to what they usually do when they win.
Yeah.
Like here, it's they only rush for 75 yards total amongst like 2 running backs, Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. And usually when they win, they're averaging over 100 easy. So that's for the Buccaneers, obviously. The Buccaneers are when they do well. So that if the Tampa Bay running game actually does well, that might be the deciding factor.
Yeah, because that's more of an all-around offense than just passing. So
yeah, no, they got weapons in Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones for a reason. They are meant to get the ball and go. But in that game, not many people went. It was a pure shootout between Mahomes and Brady, and Mahomes ended up winning the shootout. And Brady threw 2 picks, like I said, but he still had a great game, nonetheless.
I feel like if there's anybody else out there that's better at correcting his mistakes, it's Tom Brady, though.
For sure, I'm sure that Tom Brady, home alone this past week, like he tweeted out saying, home alone, the man has just dove into a bunch of film, especially on that single game.
Yeah.
Now, Tom Brady's played lots of games, though, right? And he's had multiple comebacks. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to your guys' thoughts on who do you trust more to make a comeback between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes? Because Patrick Mahomes has also made many comebacks, especially last Super Bowl. So who would you guys take? We'll start with Steven. Steven looks bursting. He looks ready.
I'm definitely going with Tom Brady on this one. Again, I don't know how you bet against the guy. I really don't.
I mean, like I said, in the completion percentages, he wasn't that good. In the Green Bay game, he was non-existent in the fourth quarter, to be honest. I watched that back, and he was non-existent in the fourth quarter. I think he threw 2 picks to start the fourth quarter.
Didn't he throw
Green
3
Bay just
picks?
Couldn't capitalize on it. And I think Patrick Mahomes would.
Didn't he throw 3 picks the entire game?
Yes, and 2 of them came at the start of the fourth quarter.
So he's probably, if he has one bad game, the next game he comes out, he's definitely going to be balls to the wall. So
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm telling you,
because he's technically had 2 straight bad games. So maybe lightning doesn't strike Strike 3 times?
Super Bowl ain't just any game.
Hey, Tom Brady, honest to God, he led the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history.
Yes.
I know Patrick Mahomes did his thing too, but
That's
28-3.
We're talking about
28-3.
But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing.
Mhm.
How many years ago was that?
Does it matter? It's
20
Tom Brady. It's
that
Tom
20
Brady.
What
He's on
team
the
was he on?
12 method.
The Patriots 2016, right? Pretty sure.
2016.
something like that.
2016. 2017?
17?
No.
2016.
Actually, no. That year that they won the Super Bowl was 2017. The Eagles won. I'm pretty sure that was 2018. And then
Yeah, I think so.
2019 was the Rams versus Patriots.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. That was 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. New team.
Doesn't matter.
Arms,
Tom Brady's playing till he's 50.
gone a little bit.
Tom Brady's playing till
showing
he's
some
50.
signs of
Tom Brady's
age
playing till
all
he's
the
50.
time.
Tom Brady's playing till he's 50.
I'm not gonna sit here and pull a Max Kellerman and say like the guy's
say he's
done
off
because I
the
don't want to
cliff.
end up like Max Kellerman. I do not want to end up like that where he said like
Yeah,
6
no.
years ago and homie went to like 6 straight Super Bowls after that. I was like, no, I'm not gonna.
Please don't jinx it because I
No,
would
I'm
like to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime too, or like the Dolphins to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime too. So please don't jinx it. I'd appreciate it.
I'm not gonna stand on that hill though and say that Tom Brady is washed. Tom Brady's too old.
He's not.
He's definitely not. Like again, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady does come out and have a great game and they win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised. Tom Brady is a great quarterback. He's the GOAT for a reason. He has 6 rings for a reason. Going for his 7th, it wouldn't be surprising to me. But if I had to choose someone to lead a comeback, I take Patrick Mahomes. Had a better season in my opinion. Crazy playoff season where he's actually. I was gonna talk about some of the stats a little bit in the game against Cleveland, right? Where I think that was the game. No, it wasn't the game where he had a concussion. That was Buffalo. But again, Cleveland's like whatever. He's had a 70% completion percentage. He threw for 255 yards and a touchdown. Pretty good. He was efficient. And then against Buffalo, who is a great team. We even talked about it on the off hand. We have a video on it. If you want to listen to them, go check it out. But he threw for 76%. And it was on 38 throws, about the same that Brady has been throwing. He had 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Buffalo's a great team. So I'm going to take a guy that's coming into this game hot than a guy that's coming into this game not hot, as well as not been great. That's
So
my
you're
opinion.
you're taking the high road on momentum here.
I'm taking a lot of momentum, man. Momentum carries.
It does. Except when halftime hits.
Oof.
Oof. So I think based off our decision of which quarterbacks we're taking kind of says who we think is going to win, right?
Andy, you're picking the wrong guy here. We're talking about Thomas Brady. Okay.
We'll find out. We'll
That's
find out on Monday.
a lifetime worth of
Sunday
beef.
night.
Yeah,
Sunday night we'll find out. Sunday night we'll find out. We'll find out exactly who here was right, who here was wrong, and God knows we're gonna talk about it that following week. Who was right and who was wrong. So we'll see. But I think we've kind of already basically said who we think is gonna win. I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers win, but I think the Chiefs are gonna win. Chayev.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to win. I think just because they've got Antonio Brown back, they're another weapon they didn't have during the Green Bay game. They got Anton Winfield, I think that's how he pronounces his name.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
They got him back. So I can't see how Kansas City wins. I think that defense is just going to be too good. I think it's going to be a medium scoring game, but I think Bucks pull it out.
I could see both teams going into the 30s pretty easily. I could definitely see that happen. And Steven, you're also taking the Buccaneers.
I'm definitely taking the Bucks. They're just an all-around team. It's not just offense. So,
and that's fair, man. That's fair. That's very fair. But I don't know. I think Mahomes can help him pull it out. But now let's talk about legacy, right? Let's talk about legacy. How would a win or a loss? I would like for you guys to talk about both if you can. Affect each person's legacy, each person being Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. So we'll start with Steven.
I don't really think a loss for Tom Brady really means anything that much to him, and he's the GOAT, right? He's won 6 Super Bowls. He really has nothing else to prove. He just wants to prove something else to himself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A win would just mean he's beating the new up-and-comer young stud, and he's old, but he could still do it. Now, for Pat Mahomes, I think a win in this case would be like the passing of a torch type of thing. Basically,
Mhm.
Brady passing him the torch, obviously. And a loss wouldn't really mean anything either. I mean, he's losing to Tom Brady. Can one really
Okay.
complain about that?
Yeah, I would say that either of them losing to each other doesn't make that big of a difference in either's legacy.
Mhm.
I think if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, like you can't argue at all that he isn't the greatest quarterback of all time. Like
Mhm.
at that point, the man won a Super Bowl at age 43 and then at what age 22, 23?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You if someone's debating if he's the greatest quarterback and then wins this Super Bowl, yeah. I don't think this hurts either their legacies, but I agree with Steven. If the Chiefs, like if Patrick Mahomes leads the Kansas City Chiefs to another Super Bowl win, it's sort of like a passing of the torch. It's just, oh, here's the new legacy guy.
Okay, I'm gonna step over here. I'm gonna pull out my whiteboard, right?
Oh
Of
no.
all of what I think all of this is gonna mean and what all is gonna happen. All right. So start with Brady. So Brady wins, right? Let's say Brady wins.
Mhm.
Certified GOAT. Just
Already
undisputed
is.
for sure. He makes it just that much harder for anybody to even possibly pass him or even join him in the argument, really.
Mhm.
Say Brady loses. It just means that he's old. I think that's all it really means. That he's gotten older. Father Time's getting on him. It means he might not make it to 45 or whatever like he thought he did. I think that's all it really means. But I think it also means that he leaves the door open for Mahomes to pass him as the GOAT in the future. So if Mahomes wins, if he can get close to Brady, maybe like 5 Super Bowls, let's say, beats majority of Brady's records, all very possible things, then he could be considered the GOAT. He could pass Brady in that discussion because we could look back and we could say that they played against each other in the Super Bowl. It's not like something like Michael Jordan and LeBron who never played against each other. We can say that Brady and Mahomes played against each other
In the
and
biggest
Mahomes
game.
won. So it's like we can hold that on Brady's head if they're in a discussion and Mahomes is close. And the same thing with Brady. If Brady's wins this game and Mahomes does get close, we can say it's like, oh, but Brady beat Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then if
Yeah,
Mahomes loses, right? Mahomes loses. Just let me finish this point real quick. Mahomes
yeah, go.
loses, then that makes it a lot harder for him to pass Brady. That makes him way harder. Brady's not going to have 7 rings. So Mahomes is going to have a lot to do, but we forget too, Mahomes is super young. The
Mhm.
man's already won a Super Bowl and MVP, and he's in like his third season. So it's
No, fourth, I
fourth
think.
technically because the first
Fourth.
season he didn't really play
Oh
as
yeah,
behind
yeah.
Alex
Exactly.
Smith.
It's his fourth season
Yeah, this is like his third season actually like playing though.
playing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
for
that's what
sure.
I mean. It's like he still has a very long career and could possibly catch up.
Yeah,
So that's kind of how I feel the legacies could be affected here.
the thing is that that's just an outlook, and we don't know how good Patrick Mahomes is without weapons. We don't know.
Yeah.
We can
Tom
cement
Brady, we
Brady
know.
play without weapons,
Yeah.
and even when he's played with weapons, him and Randy Moss that one season almost went
Mhm.
undefeated.
Very
So
true.
I think even if Patrick Mahomes does similar things to Tom Brady, I think Tom Brady did it with at least on the offensive side a lot less than Patrick Mahomes is doing right now. If Patrick Mahomes in a few years doesn't have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, or any run game, and he's still balling out like he does right now,
Mhm.
then yeah, I don't doubt there will be arguments over that pretty easily.
But I think pretty confidently like that if Mahomes does win on Sunday,
Mhm.
you're gonna start hearing a lot of that chatter, and that's gonna be something that's
Oh,
gonna be talked about for a
Either way, you're gonna hear a
while.
lot
I
of chatter.
yeah, I don't
Either
doubt it.
way, because if Brady wins, you're gonna be hearing, "Oh, Pat Mahomes beat him in the season, but Brady beat him in the Super Bowl." So there's a tiebreaker that needs to be
I
No,
don't even
because
think so.
Brady
solved.
beat him in the AFC Championship. So
Who?
Yeah,
Oh crap! You're right. What the
yeah,
heck? I'm an
yeah,
idiot. Brain
but
fart.
not,
My bad.
but now it's on like the biggest like
no, that's
stage. You
I'm
get me?
agreeing with Andy. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. It is the biggest stage. That's what I'm saying.
This is the
Yeah,
biggest stage. This is where it matters. And if Mahomes wins, it definitely I think there's definitely more in the line for Mahomes in terms of legacy at least in this game than Brady. I think for
oh
sure.
for sure. Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure, for sure. It's more on Mahomes' legacy than it is on Brady's.
Because then it also begins a repeat where they go back to back champs for the Chiefs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And who's to say they don't three-peat? They don't bring back most of these guys. They don't come back with Andy Reid, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, their running backs. dang it, they go 3 before Patrick Mahomes even hits like 28. It's going to be 26 with like 3 rings. Shoot.
Yeah.
He's already climbing. That's why. So that's why we'll probably talk more about those 2 guys at a later date when there's a little bit more history written in the books. Right?
For sure.
All right. So I think we're gonna call the episode there. Thank you again, Chaya, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Probably be on here a lot more. Probably soon have you on again.
Mm-hmm.
Steven. Yeah. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. We're gonna have the tag, I forget what it's called right now, the handle, whichever words you want to use. It's gonna be there in the description. So follow us on there too. Is there any last remarks you guys want to give to the people out there?
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
No. All right. Everyone stay safe. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Come back to this video afterwards. Say that Andy's dumb if Brady wins and the Buccaneers win.
Yeah. Stay me and Steven are dumb if Kansas City
please.
wins. Honest to God. Yeah.
Please. I need it. I'm in a corner here. It's 2-on-1. I need it. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.